Hey guys, and welcome to Tour to ATAN episode 22. And today we have Ian Livingston. How are you doing, Ian?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Yeah, brilliant. You?
Yeah, great. Everything's great. And yeah, thank you for joining the show. And before we get into things, I always ask, where are you based? Where are you from, Ian?
Well, I'm based in border of Buckinghamshire and Hertfordshire. So a place called near Tring, and it's on the Chiltern Hills. If you know that, it's about 35 miles northwest of London.
Okay.
So I used to live in London and then moved out this way about 20 years ago. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And what made you want to move? What was the difference?
It's just the congestion. I lived in West London near Heathrow Airport.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay.
And it just took forever to get from one part of one suburb to another. And it's just, this is just not great. You spend half your time in life just traveling, when it's so local, you're doing a couple of miles. I thought, I've had enough of this. Always liked being out in the hills, and this was a great place to kind of commute into my job near Heathrow. But it was good to just move out and get a good quality of life, much better.
Is it a slower way of life there? Like as soon as you leave London, do you think it's slower?
Oh yeah, yeah, it's slower, but not too slow. It's still still plenty of stuff going on. So we've got a few local towns around here, so it's still enough. And Milton Keynes again isn't far away either. If you want to get into there, and Watford is further south. And I'm naming all the places. Probably most people never heard of them, but yeah, they're the local towns. And it's enough because there are never any traffic jams.
Oh, great. Okay.
As you go to the towns, my commute from where I live to a rural office, it's one of these places that's been converted into about 15 communities, 15 businesses. So it's really good. It's a nice little community, but we're out in the sticks. So.
The reason why I ask is I mean, I'm from London as well, and I'm used, and you probably were used to everything being pretty much 24 hours. Everything's open late. You can go to Tesco's. Yeah. You can go to Tesco's at midnight, but as soon as you go out of London into certain areas, like for example Norfolk, it's like things close at 5, and then you're stuck. You're stuck. So that's why I'm wondering, like, where you are, is it kind of like that, or is it a bit? There are like things you can go late out. There are shops open late and things like that.
Oh yeah, no, there are shops open late. Yeah, particularly in the towns that I mentioned. Then some of them are 24-hour, purely because they're near the main sort of motorways and that sort of thing. So people will come off and they can fill up and that sort of thing. There's one or two shops open late. Well, just got to know who they where they are. And transport links are still pretty good to get from London straight out to this area up until about 12:30. 1 in the morning. I think you can get get back to where you want to be. So it's not too bad. You're not lost that.
And what is it you actually do? You mentioned Heathrow. You work in the airport?
Oh no. I worked in Stockley Park. You've probably heard of it because of VAR. But it's a very much blue chip kind of companies that are based there. So it's a big business park. So it's about 2 miles or 1.5 miles from Heathrow Airport. So it's ideal. I worked for a corporate company at the time, and so it's great to for people just to pick up rather than get a taxi. People would pick them up from the airport, bring these sort of VIPs or directors from the US based company, and they get to the office very quickly, rather than have to wait for a taxi and extra costs and that sort of thing.
And what's so if you don't mind me asking, what is your role? Like, what do you actually do there?
Oh, I don't work there now.
Okay.
We've set up an accounting firm here.
Okay.
So it's about me, another business partner, and we've got about a team of 8, 9, 10 people.
Oh, nice.
Work for us. So it's nice, yeah. And we have a mix of people working from home and coming into the office. So it's good. I like it. It's great.
Tell me about your health and fitness journey. Have you always been to fitness? Is something done recently? Where did it start? When did it start?
I'm one of these inconsistent people, to be honest. So I stop and start things. One of my best sports when I was a kid was swimming, and I was quite a really good swimmer. I used to win quite a few races, but then I stopped when I was about 16, and then didn't go back to it until I was about 24. And I joined a swimming club, and I thought I need to keep fit again. And it was good. It's brilliant, but I was surprised. There was surprise there that I was keeping up with some of the top swimmers. There's one guy that's actually been reserved for Commonwealth Games, on the swimming. I can't remember which stroke it was now. And I said, but you're keeping up with him, where have you been training? I said, I haven't. I said, about the last 6-7 years, I haven't done anything on swimming.
Really? Wow.
They're really shocked,
Okay.
But I took to like a duck to water when I was about 7. I never looked back. But
so you still swim now? So you still swim now regularly?
Very occasionally. I should do, I suppose, but I just been busy and got other pressures, I suppose, and you just don't get into these sort of things too much. But I then did a bit of cross country running.
Yeah.
The reason I did that is because I noticed this was when I was about early 30s, and I noticed, having done swimming for 2 or 3 years, I got to about 27, and then went back to old ways of not really keeping fit. And I noticed that I was getting a double chin, and people were taking the mick out of me. I thought, I can't have this. I'm too young to look like this. So I was inspired to just, do other things. I didn't really want to do road running. So I took up some cross country on a social basis, really. It's a group of people just did a lot of cross country running. They would finish up in a pub or something. So you could do it either in the evenings or at the weekend. And it was good. It helped me lose some weight, build up some strength. And at the same time, I started doing weight training for the first time. I'd never done it before. So, someone said, just build up some strength. You've got some stamina, but you need to get a bit stronger. So I tried that. So that was, did that for about 2 or 3 years. Then it kind of faded off. I worked for this blue chip company, and there's gym membership all paid for.
Oh, yeah.
But started doing it perhaps twice a month. Then it went down to once a month. Then skipped it, and then you get this attitude where you think, oh, I feel guilty, getting this benefit and not using it. And it's really frustrating. And eventually I went back to it, but it's been inconsistent, and that's what I've been saying. Really, I've just been, and I've done a little bit of other, done other sports, played squash for a little bit, some football and stuff like that. But I've never kept it up regularly, and this has been my problem.
Do you find cross country easy as well? Like, are you naturally good at running, just like you are swimming?
Yeah, I do. I like the soft ground, so I like running across grass or footpaths. To me, it's easier than running on the road.
Yeah.
I'll feel it easier on the knees. But and again, I've not done much of that lately. Although I did take up some hill sprints for the first time last year, funnily enough, which is good. I enjoyed that. It's less painful because it's over a shorter period of time. So you just do a spurt up a hill, then it's finished, walk down, and then have a break, and then go back up again and a sprint. And I find that easier going than just doing sort of a half an hour or an hour, just sort of jogging across country, running and stuff like that.
Yeah. So do you think most of these issues are just to do with time, or enjoyment? Because it sounds like you probably are a bit of a natural athlete, but you just because I know people like that, they're actually really good at sport, amazing at sport, could even made it at top level, but just don't have the desire, or their priorities are different. It's very interesting to speak to those sort of people. Yeah,
it's priorities, it's discipline, and that's why I'm better perhaps in a group, or where there's I've had on 2 different occasions a personal trainer, so I've benefited from that, because then you're held to account.
Yeah.
And I guess as this community is as well, you're held to account. So people notice if you don't report in and say, come on, what you done. The same with business. Got a business coach, and need to have that discipline, and someone can just say, come on in, you get back on what you set as a target. Why aren't you achieving it? What's getting in the way? And it helps really keep you on track. You do need other people sometimes,
it's
in
true.
my view, rather than try and do everything on your own. You can't.
Coaches need coaches. They just do, and everyone does. Even mentors need mentors. No one knows it all. You're 100% right. 100% right. And so, moving forward now, tell us more about Aphro-D. What were you looking for? What were you trying beforehand? Like, what led you to this journey of this, increase in testosterone? Like, what was it you're looking for? Was it just trying to lose weight?
No, it was actually a casual conversation about 2-3 years ago, down the pub, I think, from what I remember.
Right.
And it's just, and I was talking about, you know, my age and stuff like that, and I was getting brain fog. And you know, people, oh yeah, I'm you know, I know what it's like, and everybody just needs to be green. This one guy was saying, actually, all of you probably got low T. You know, I thought, low T, what are you talking about? You know, he's talking about testosterone. So you know, that really drops down once you get to your age. You know, and you need to, or our age, he seemed to be fine. And it turns out he was on TRT.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. And so I was interested in that. I thought, all right, you know, if that helps clear the mind, you know, and helps me focus better, I'm interested. And also it helps with everything else to do. I knew about testosterone, but never actually thought that you could actually reverse it in some way. So I went ahead and got some blood tests. And I was going, you know, I thought, well, I've got to do something. So I really want to try and get myself sorted. I felt I was getting older quite quickly. I felt like I was getting aches and pains in the body as well. And that's another sign, you know, perhaps, you know, this could help. So I went as far as doing the blood test. This is March 2020, and then everything shut down.
Yeah, pandemic.
COVID. So luckily now, looking back, that stopped that process. And then I never picked it up again for some reason. But then I started getting ill, and a long story short, I had to have half my bowel removed back in October 2020.
Wow. Okay.
So that was a really bad time. And the other problem I had was immediately after the surgery, my heart stopped, and I had to do CPR just to bring me back. And that was a bit of a shock to discover, because, and shock to them, because it was a pre-booked appointment. And nothing had shown up. They obviously do the test on the heart, ECG, and said there's nothing wrong with your heart. So they were shocked that it stopped. And that really knocked me back for a couple of months. I was quite weak, and it took a while for the heartbeat to you know, recover, which is a bit of a concern. And so they were saying as well, you know, I had two worries because the bowel stuff, you know, there's suspected there could be some cancer there. And then I had this, someone else was approaching me in hospital and telling me about my heart, you know, and I felt a wreck. I really felt, you know, I was on edge the whole time. I thought, you know, there's two things, you know, hovering over me, and I don't know what's, you know, what the results are going to be. Obviously, they removed the part of the bowel which is causing a problem. There was a polyps inside, and they couldn't get it out normally, so they had to get surgery, and the only way they could do it was actually remove part of the bowel. So that was a bit alarming, but I was waiting to get the results of the actual polyps to see if it had been cancerous or not. Fortunately, it wasn't. So that's a relief. And, you know, once I started going to a cardiologist to find out what was going wrong, you know, from a heart point of view, he said that shouldn't happen. So just stop me if I'm going on too long. Yeah, I'm going off track. Yeah.
It's okay. No, come on. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so the long story short, they put in a little reveal device in here.
Yeah. So,
and the purpose of that is because I started getting dizzy spells, quite almost like I was going to faint. And it turns out my heart rate was sometimes dropping down to about 28 beats a minute.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's quite bad. And I took myself into A&E a few times. Wow. I was sick of this kind of, you know, goings on. And then it started getting worse in November, but then it stopped, and I seemed to be fine.
Did they know what it was? Did they know what it was, or
not at the time? No, they couldn't work it out. Okay. So in December, I was looking to get fitter again, and at the same time, I was talking about testosterone. So you know, someone again had said, you know, increase in testosterone will help you recover, you know, get stronger. So again, I was looking on the web and then came across beforehand probably. Can't remember exactly, but I, you know, listened to some of his videos, looked around at this Aphro-D and I thought, well, this looks good. It's herbs, you know, I'll have a look. I looked at it months before, fun enough. So I noticed I was part of this Facebook community back in July, by looks of it, and so I think I did have a quick look, and then put it back in my mind, and then picked it up again around about December last year. and thought, I read quite a bit about it. I thought, this sounds good. I'm going to try it. So I went off and ordered some herbs. They arrived about mid-Jan. Got a blood test done before, so I could see, what it was like before, and see how I'd make, what progress I would make from there. And then at the same time in January, a lot of stuff was going on in the community at the time, because you had this build up to Andre's androgen book, and we had that Zoom call where loads of us joining in that Zoom call. Yeah. So I'd only been part of it for a few weeks, and then at the same time we're doing this post every day challenge.
Yeah.
If you remember that, and that was just people could post, as long as they're posting every day, they could be posted.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Food they cooked, it could be themselves taking the deal, and then it could be a workout. So it's quite a good mix, and a lot of people were taking part in that. So I did a few posts on that one, but it's an interesting time, and it got me into the community a little bit, which is great. So I think these challenges, do bring people in, quite a bit.
Tell me, what was you said in 2020 you did a blood test. What were your levels then? Do you remember what they were in 2020, or you didn't really pay attention?
I kind of lost attention, I suppose, because at that point, they came in the post, and then it came by email, I'm thinking of it, so I probably can access it. But I think the lockdown sort of completely, took that away from my thoughts and didn't really pay any attention. But it's a good point. I forgot all about that. But I have got it stored somewhere, so I might.
Okay. Yes, show us 100%. And what about now? Like you said, you did a blood test before you started taking Aphro-D, and then you have you retested since?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. So the total T was about 481. Yeah. So Andre converted it for me. It's obviously, just so that, we all can compare like with like. And this time it had gone up. He said it had gone up back to 120. So it's about 600, possibly just.
Oh wow! In how long? And how long was this? Whatever.
That was about 6-7 months.
Okay.
But the big but is that this SHBG.
Yeah.
Is that had gone up as well.
Okay.
So it's still in what they call the normal range, but that's a big range, but it's the top end of normal this time rather than being in the middle. So again, Coach Andre was saying, try boron. So I've been trying that.
Oh, yeah, boron, yeah.
How that goes, and also focus on my sleep, because I'm not great at sleeping. And the summer months are the worst months for me, spring and summer, because it's so light. It gets light in the morning, I respond to it. I can't help it. I just,
Interesting.
Whereas maybe this, period going through the autumn, things will be different, and I'll actually sleep a bit longer. So we'll see how that is as well. So it'll be interesting to take the test later on this year and see how it goes. Yeah.
And how do you feel now? Like, it's been how long have you been taking Aphro-D for? It's whatever, a year, or has this been 7 months?
No, it's January. So
January. Okay.
So this is just.
How do you feel? So how do you feel like before taking it? How did you feel, and how do you feel now? Plus all these challenges and things like that you've been implementing.
The bit of the challenge that I had was I got sick again about 2 months after taking Aphro-D.
Oh,
and this is when they discovered what my problem was. There was a sick sinus node, which regulates the heartbeat. So it's not the heart itself, but it's the node that was actually, kicks that. It's like a human pacemaker. So they've actually put in a pacemaker up here just above my reveal device. I've got little contractions all within just under the skin here, and that has helped. That's made a big difference. But it was a kind of setback, and then I got COVID after that as well. So it's a bit of, it's not been an easy time between when I first started taking Aphro-D and when they got the blood test. Whereas since then, I've been, my health has been a lot better. And I feel that, I do feel more energized, and stronger in what we're doing, which is great. I was feeling that to start with, and then that kind of dropped off because of because I was sick and couldn't work out, wasn't allowed to do any kind of workout at all for about 6 weeks after getting this pacemaker in, just so it could settle in. So I had about nearly 3 months of not doing anything, first of all being sick, and then getting this recovery period of time. So but there's certain things have changed, definitely. I do feel stronger, feel healthier.
You mentioned the brain fog as well. I mean, talking to that guy in the pub, you mentioned.
Yeah. So that kind of comes and goes at the moment. I find with taking the Aphro-D, it's not instant. It takes time, and there's been 3 or 4 things perhaps happened, but over the last 8 months or so, not all happened at once. So the brain fog, I can focus better, definitely, but there's still times when I get the brain fog, and maybe over a period of time that will gradually, become less common. I can actually focus and be sharper. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. But my understanding is, everything accumulates, builds up in your body over a long period of time, rather than.
You will see if your work productivity will go up. That will probably be one thing that will be a good sign. Like just more attention, things get done quicker. You don't take as long to process things, like that kind of stuff. They'll go up. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you, Ian?
63.
63. Okay, so I mean, you did a great job in increasing your testosterone for your age, because as we get older, we will naturally, even though we can reduce the levels of testosterone going down, it will still go down very slightly. But you've done a good job of that. So well done for that. Especially at your age. Tell us what do you do? What do you do in your free time when you're not training and or working?
Gardening. I do like. I like the outdoors. So any excuse. I love gardening. So I like to be outdoors. We've got a larger back garden, so we grow blackberries and strawberries and tomatoes and stuff like that, as well as sort of a range of flowers and that sort of thing. Got a little pond at the back as well. Get frogs, and my wife likes to capture all the nightlife that goes on in the garden. So we discover, a fox that's come in. We'd never know this. There's, a lot of hedgehogs and stuff like that. So that's fun. But I like going out walking, and that's one of the reasons I like going to the Chiltern Hills, because it's just great. It's right on your doorstep, and you can get out there and into the hills. It's not that populated. It's still quite rural around here. So it's that's a great feeling, just to really just refreshes the mind. And just make, can just nicely unwind from things. It's really good. I like that.
Yeah, what other, going through your journey, what do you think other men like yourself who are kind of, getting themselves back into shape, what kind of message would you give to those sort of guys who are, have no clue what they're doing, kind of just starting their journey of fitness? What would you say to those guys? Like, say you're that guy down the pub, like, what would you say to that person?
I'd definitely say that, take up a sport that you love and that you enjoy, and the working out and the fitness side of it is supplementary to that and complements it. Some people struggle because they're all fitness, I can't, working out, that's all, can't be asked and stuff like that. And then you think, well, it's not about that. Do something you love that's physical, but to help you improve in that sport, get this training as well, do a few workouts, build up your stamina, so you can do, whatever sport you want to do, or your pastime, which involves physical activity, and do that. And I think it's a great value, because, and if you need help, then, as I said before, perhaps get a personal trainer to really help you set goals, because some people are very, very self-disciplined and could do it on their own, and other people, need that extra help, and that makes such a big difference. So, I strongly recommend that.
And finally, what are your goals now? So, you've gone through a massive journey of health challenges, fitness challenges. What are your health and fitness aspirations going forward now for you?
Well, yeah, definitely health is really, really important. So I am watching what I'm taking. The androgen chart has really helped as well. Really focus on what's good for the body, and cutting out a lot of crap that I've been eating before, just bad habits. But I want to build up on health and strength and fitness. I just feel so good with it. I can attack my work better. Family life is better. So I'm not that I was ever in bad moods, but I just feel more positive.
Okay.
Than I did just when you're doing something like that, because you feel relaxed. You feel charged up but relaxed at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's so that side of it. I want to kind of look at semi-retiring. So I've got more free time to do things. Even in the local community. There's one charity when I
volunteer
work out as well. Yeah, volunteer. But I do more of the garden because working full time, just as much time to spend, and I want to spend more time doing stuff around the garden, did a bit of travel and doing, and I want to be able to walk, some of these longer distance tracks as well. So we've done parts of the Pennine Way, but I'd love to do a whole lot in one go at some point. So, so that's a big trail up the centre of England.
Oh, okay.
The Pennine Hills. So that's appealing to me. So I just love, as I mentioned before, love the great outdoors, love the fresh air. I mean, I took a couple of mates up from London a few years ago up to the Peak District, and we climbed this hill, and of course it's sunny down the bottom, as you know, when you go up the uplands, weather can change really fast. It started pouring rain, and the rain became horizontal, and we're at the top. And they're swearing at me. So what the hell did you bring us up here for? They used to be city, and there's total shock. I said, all right, okay, Fred, let's go down. And gradually the weather improved as we got down. We got down to the bottom, went to the pub. It was a roaring fire. I had sitting there with a pint and said, now we get it. Now we understand. They actually got what we're trying to do here. Just experience the wildness of outdoors and nature.
The achievement.
At the same time. Just get work for the pint instead of trying to just go straight to the pub, live an unhealthy life. So I've actually done something healthy, lost a few pounds, and
that's great. Okay,
I would encourage people just to join in these challenges though, because I think they're great.
How do you feel the challenges have helped you? I mean, you do your walking tours, you do your challenges anyway, but how do you feel like the challenges inside the Facebook group? How do you think they've helped you in any way?
Well, they do help that you to be more disciplined. If I was doing 100 push-ups every day on my own, within about 3-4 days, I think, can't be bothered tonight, I'll skip one. And then a few days later, I'd probably skip a couple in a row. And then before that, it's all fizzling out. Whereas when you have to post that video of yourself to the whole community and they're all watching, that you feel, although nobody's may necessarily be actually watching you, it's that accountability, the fact that you to yourself and to the community, and I think that's really good. I think it really helps keep at it, thinking I will do this for 100 days, and determined. Of course you get inspired by other people, and it's really I love that inspiration, that positivity that comes through in this group, and I think other people that are on the verge of shall I, shan't I, or is it too, is 100 too much? I didn't think I'd do 100. It's only because I was challenged to join the group, join that challenge.
Yeah.
That I took up on it, and I did 30 on the first time. I thought that's my limit, and then I thought afterwards, well, maybe I could have done a bit. Let's see if I do more. And the second one I did about 50. Within about 3-4 days, I'd done 100 push-ups. Obviously with a little bit of break in between. And that shocked me because I didn't think I was capable of doing that. So that was quite an eye opener.
The psychological aspect is big.
Definitely.
Massive.
It's definitely a psychological aspect. You can push yourself further. And you can. I noticed that when you get up to about over 80 and there's only 20 to go, suddenly you have the extra push. And
I know.
Where's the extra energy come from?
I think it's the adrenaline. Like you've got to get to that 100.
Yeah.
You've got to get to.
You feel you're on the home run, and suddenly you can really put that spurt in. And think, why didn't I do that when I was about 50? But that's how it goes, isn't it? But the challenge is good. Now I encourage anybody else to just join it. It doesn't matter if you just do 10 or 20 to start with. Just see what you can do. But by posting those videos, you're starting to be part of that group. People are going to encourage you. They're not going to laugh at you. I've never felt that in this group. And I think it's important for people to stretch themselves. If you go out of your comfort zone and do something like that, you really do start to stretch and you grow and develop, and that's the way to do it. So yeah, I'd encourage anybody. I think the rewards are great because you are sticking to that program. Whereas on my own, I know that I wouldn't stick to it. If I promised myself I'd do 100 days of this, and I wasn't talking to anybody about it or proving myself to anybody, I know I wouldn't stick to it. So that's critical, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, anyone listening into this, probably wondering what we're talking about, these challenges. Basically, within the Aphro-D Nation Facebook group, we have these regular challenges to kind of help us kind of go outside our comfort zone. Because one way of increasing your testosterone, is increasing your confidence, increasing your, pushing your body to the next level. So you can, because your body, you need your body to always adapt, and also your brain to adapt as well. So that's why we do these challenges. So yeah, if you want to, again, anyone listening in, anyone wants to kind of push themselves to the next level, just join the group, start the challenges. Even if you don't want to take any supplements or even try Aphro-D, it doesn't matter. You can just join just to do the challenges, because that will definitely take you to the next level. But yeah, but thank you very much, Ian, for your time. Yeah. Hopefully next time I speak to you, your levels will increase even more, pushing up to the 1,000 level. We hope.
We never know, but certainly, yeah. The benefits are so great. It's just getting more energy, and getting stronger. I didn't think I'd get this kind of strong, and that's such a big benefit. So I recommend taking Aphro-D as well. It really does sort of fire up quite a bit as well. I believe, you get that. I was raw dogging for a little while as well. Taking it neat, open up the capsules. I haven't the last 2 months purely because with the old bottles, I left 2 of them in the car during that big heat wave that we had, and I found they're sticking to the outside. So I thought I would just swallow them for now, and get a new batch, and then perhaps go back to what I was doing before. But yeah, no, it's all good stuff for me. It's and for older men as well. I think it's great because it does start. So I look a little bit younger than I did, I don't know, about a year ago. I'm wondering where that's part of it. Part of the fitness, and also just changing my diet. There's a whole mix of things. It's a lifestyle, and I think that really does. I look myself in the mirror and I think, well, I'm sure I look younger than I did, last year, and I think it does help. Just make you feel a bit younger, and look a bit younger. So I definitely encourage that for older men to change lifestyles if they're looking to change the lifestyle and actually develop, a healthy regime, in life, and it just gives you that energy, gives you more passion, definitely. So.
No, you're right. I mean, 100% that the herbs will do their part. They will, help improve your hair, your skin, what's going on inside your body. But also you need to do all these other things as well, like do the challenges, like eating properly, like seeing sunlight in the morning, going on those treks, or volunteering. They're also very important as well. So, but yeah, Ian, I think you've got, I think you know exactly what to do, and you're definitely on the right track. And there's no question about it. You're going to keep pushing and going forward. So yeah, I look forward to hearing, seeing your next results and seeing where you are.
I'll post them when I do them. Yeah, definitely. I'm interested to see how, I'll watch my sleep. Is that something
sleeping?
I really got to take care. Yeah, got to take care of that.
Okay, great. Okay, well, have a great day, and we'll speak soon.
All right. Okay, that's all.
Take care.
Thanks.